Kristen Stevens, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the audition process at Disney for character performers, or fuzzy character performers, if most people like to call them, which means you're going to be Tigger, Pooh, Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse type characters. So typically you go on their site, you go see when there's an audition. They're very few and far between, depending where you live and what they're looking for, because sometimes they look for very specific characters. So they'll be like, oh, we only need up to 5'5". Some people show up who are 5'9", and I don't know if they get far, but I mean, just so you know, they usually are very strict about the height, because they can't change the costume. You have to fit in it. Also, sometimes they're very specific on like, oh, we just need Minnie, we just need Goofy, etc. Sometimes they don't tell you, and it just seems like an open audition. Good luck. Doesn't matter if you're a boy or girl, show up. Mostly care about the height is, I think, a very big part. Sometimes they just, you show up and they just judge you on height, or they kick you out of line. Last time I auditioned, which was last week, I got fortunate enough to go into the room and they actually had us perform, which was cool. So the first step is called character animation. I think animation character, something like that with animation. It's not drawing, it is physical acting. So that means you can't use words, you have to use body language. You'll be in a big group, maybe 50 people. I think they counted 70 actually when we went in. There were 70 people in there because they like cut off the line, and I believe I was like number 73 or something big like that. Put your stuff in the back, and you have to do big motions, such as they'll be like, okay, act like a cowboy, and you're like, how would I act like a cowboy that no one else is going to act like a cowboy? Okay, everyone's going to be doing a lasso. Everyone's going to pretend they're on a horse. Everyone's going to pretend they're shooting pistols. Try to think out of the box, because I think that's what they really want, and make everything big. Also, try to go for actual technical difficulties, such as some people were rolling on the floor or doing like cartwheels. Okay, that's cool, but realistically, you can't do that with a big head on you. It's not gonna happen. So try to apply it physically. Another thing they wanted us to do was become a villain. So you have to think, how would a villain be? They'd be like, thinking interesting, or like, come here, my pretty, or I'm making a potion. I know, that was a weird thing how I made a potion. Whatever, I made a potion, and that's what I did. I didn't know what else to do. Some people were like a sly character, or acted like Cruella de Vil with a cigarette. I don't know how you act like a villain, really. I mean, I watched the movies, but how do you portray that out of your voice? Not without using your voice. So think of that. That's what they had. I think they change it every single time. I'm not sure. I don't go to fuzzy characters often. I just wanted to try. Then after that, they cut you or they keep you. Once that happens, I know you learn a dance routine. Not a hard one, because you're in a costume. It's nothing like you learn twirls or something, I don't believe. I think it's a simple 8 count. Again, like the look-alike audition, I think they do it a lot, like repetitively, so you learn it, feel comfortable about it, don't have to be a major dancer. Even though a lot of people who show up for the audition sometimes think you need a lot of dancing experience, I met some people who brought ballet slippers, which is cool. Some brought pointed toes, and I was like, I don't think you're going to do that in a costume. Some people brought tap shoes, some people brought, cool, that's cool. Whatever you want to audition in, be comfortable with it, but also be kind of practical, because that's like, when will Goofy do a tap routine? I don't know. But again, up to you what you want to wear. I think those are smarter choices than some people showing up in heels. I don't know why people show up in heels or wearing high boots, unless you're just wearing that until you change out of your shoes, and that's understandable, but most people don't bring extra pairs of shoes. I wore walking shoes. Those seem to work. They're flexible and comfortable. I wore sweatpants, and I wore a workout shirt, and I brought a light jacket. I tried to wear something that was flattering and cute. Nothing too big and wow. Some people show up with a lot of makeup. They discourage a lot of makeup, actually. They want to see your face if you're doing look-alike. I don't know if they really care if you do that, but I noticed a lot of people who are wearing a lot of makeup seem to get cut. So, but I got cut too, and I was wearing a lot of makeup, so I don't know. Don't know what I can tell you, but take that as you will. What else is there? Oh, I put my hair in a ponytail. A lot of people had their hair back because they knew they would be working out. Also, get there on time. our closest time as possible. I got there at 8:20 and I still waited 2.5 hours to get into the place, and there was probably a good 200 people in front of me and a good maybe 200 or 300 people behind me. And I got there. It started at 10. I didn't leave till almost 1, and I got one act something really big out, and I got cut. So be smart, bring drinks, bring water, bring food. You probably will be waiting unless you're one of the first in line or the first 72 in line or whatever. And you make really good friends waiting in these lines. They're awesome. Great. You don't be shy. Everybody's there. Everyone's nervous. Be supportive. Sometimes I freak myself out saying, oh, I became friends with these people and they're going to look at me weird if I don't get past. Don't worry about it. Sometimes it's hard to even know what Disney wants. Sometimes I wish I can just look at their list and be like, tell me what you want and I will tell you right now if I can give that to you. And they don't, so sometimes I wish their sites were a bit more specific on what they were looking at, because I'm like, yeah, I wasted like 4 hours of my life waiting in the hot sun, got a sunburn, and if I knew what you were looking for when you began with, I could have just avoided all this type thing. Bring a resume if you want. Sometimes they take it, sometimes they don't. You could bring a headshot. You don't really need one for a fuzzy character. A lot of people brought headshots for that, and I was like, you don't really need it. Maybe a resume with your height and weight and all that stuff would be nice, but you don't need it. Let's see. I don't know what else happens after that. I know at one point you will put on the outfit and you will have to act like whatever character they give you. Also, keep a cheery disposition the whole time. You don't have to be smiling the whole time, but like have a positive attitude. Like don't be like don't act bored. Act like you're happy there. They really appreciate that, and sometimes they will look that over other things. I've heard people who got past who are horrible at the dancing. Like they literally cannot do it. They have 2 left feet, but their animation and their positive attitude is so strong they'll get hired. So just keep that in mind. Not saying it's a guarantee, but I've heard it happen. Also, they're hard to get hired at, so just keep trying. If it's your dream, you can achieve it. I mean, yeah, keeping a positive attitude here. So good luck, and I hope this helped. Bye!